And our voice is on now live on YouTube. Good afternoon, everybody. I think I surprised everyone with this flight. Nobody's expecting it, so there's not anybody looking right now according to my stats. But for those of you watching later or coming in later, welcome anyway. And hope you enjoy it. We're going to do a bit of a test flight quickly for Zibo with the Zibo. You guys are welcome to join us. It's a bit of a longer flight than usual, but a couple of things we need to check. And I'll quickly talk you through one of the things we fixed a little bit earlier, which I'm kind of proud of. And thank you again, Zibo, for your assistance and what you did there. So, what did I do now? Oh, this little nav map. I don't know if I'm the only lucky one that this happens to. My little nav map opens up, and then the only thing you can see is the top bar. That's all that comes up. But you can't click it. You can do nothing. Then you've got to fiddle with the icon there on the taskbar at the bottom to make it actually pop up. Weird, eh? Weird. In the interim, I've lost some of my other valuable little open folders. Right, so that's back in place now. Flight plan from the description. Oh, yeah, I changed it. Come back, Navigraph. Hello, Rab.
See, let's push the docket, does man not.
Yeah. Right, there's our flight for this afternoon. That can close then to start explain as well now. And had the pleasure of doing all those things in the background because I surprised myself with the quick startup here. Explain. Right, while that thing's firing up, let's do our planning. Taking 36 there, and we're going to use 18 right for the arrival. Yeah, okay, I'm going to take gate 3. Back to the world, real time. And yeah, that's updated. Take that one with Linda. We'll do some step climbs. And let's generate this flight. Ooh, we've got 10 viewers already. Welcome, everybody. Again, apologies for springing this flight so quickly on you, but we need to do a test flight for Zibo. So instead of me doing it on my own, I thought we might as well stream it, and then we've got video record, so Zibo can check it out as well. Right, so that is done. It's done. It's done. Some toolkit pros, the next thing. And the VA stuff. All right. Wrong button. Right, so it says we're flying flight level 300. No step climbs. That's very interesting.
Hello, Cap. Nice to see you
UPS is
again.
complaining. Let me just
Please
switch the fan
remember to
off
start
quickly
the
before we
ACARS.
die. Sorry, guys. Hello, Umar. Welcome. You're right. Okay, so now it's just hot. We'll switch it on once we have seen that the computers have settled down a bit. Right. So, if anybody is flying with, I need to know, because then I need to go on to IVAO. If nobody's flying with, I'm not going to bother.
I am ready for electrical power up procedure.
We need to come down to 36 at the bottom. Okay. Hey, James.
Good evening.
Huh? What?
Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening. Yeah, it finally caught me live. Thanks, James, man, and thanks for the tip. Much appreciated. And hope you enjoy the flight with us. We are obviously going to test a few things, and I'll talk you through some of the stuff. And yeah, should be interesting. Hakan, are you flying with or not?
James McCallum donated
I'm
27
flying
Canadian
with
dollars and
all of you.
99 cents through
Okay.
Super
Right now
Chat.
I'm flying.
Howdy,
Okay.
Nico. Finally caught you live.
Yeah, thanks for the message, James. Right, okay. So let's start with our basics now. I don't know why this jetway is not listening to us. It's obviously not a live one, so we'll skip it. TPU pre-plan this thing.
Grounded to cockpit. Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you're ready.
Right, and that's our flight. We don't need these other guys. Okay, so Zibo and I spent a couple of minutes together earlier, and we were looking at the situation that we've known about for a while, but it kept on slipping our minds. And one of the things that happened was we started talking about this yaw damper and the IRS alignment, that there was a problem the way it worked. So what happened was, when we switched to nav and we switched the yaw damper on after receiving our white lights, the yaw damper wouldn't stick. You know, a couple of versions ago, that thing died. And so like I said, we spent a couple of minutes together quickly, me and Zibo, and we did the testing and checking and what have you. And he's actually put it into this new version 4.1 for you guys. So you will see when we switch on to nav, once we get one of the whites, it should stick now perfectly as in the real aircraft. Okay, we purposely tested with only the left IRS, then with only the right IRS, and then with all three. So in all three states now, the yaw damper will work as in the real aircraft. I think that's pretty damn neat. Right. Right, this is a long flight, but for some reason, SimBrief decided that we are only going to fly at flight level 300. So we'll see what the wind does, and we might do a climb or something ourselves, you know. Landing altitude is going to be 0. It's Amsterdam, so we're not bothered with that. Right, the other issue that was fixed was the direct to, that under certain circumstances when you go direct to in the FMC, you would get error 6 on the FMC would freeze up and you'll get error 6 over there. So while we're talking about it, I just want to mention to you, you have to come and enable the FPS error somewhere in here. Now I can't remember where it is. We're going to quickly find it. Visual effects. There we go. Under visual effects, show FPS and error number. You have to switch this on because when you have an FMC freeze, it will always give an error here on the EFP, and that's how Zibo goes and then searches through the code. There's more than 1 million lines of code, you know, and if we have an error code, it's just so much easier to go find the issue. So that one is something that he addressed and fixed. Also, there was an FPS loss. You know, when you come into land, sometimes it's like you would stutter, and sometimes the X-plane would kind of freeze up on you, and it makes the landing more difficult, and that's because of the go-around situation. All right, so Zibo says he's fixed that, and the one thing we are still left to test now, which he did work on, but he told me he didn't have time to test it himself, so we're going to test it for him, is we want to see that the aircraft slows down before the top of descent. Right, so that once the nose dips, that it doesn't overspeed and do funny things. Okay, so you guys have to help me look out for that one. I know we all talk a lot here, especially me, to apologize up front, but at the top of descent, we must try concentrate a bit. Also, it's going to be on video, so if we do miss it, we can always watch the video. Just makes it easier for us to check it. All right, so just change the livery here, and then we can start setting up and go. Skymatix. Hello, Eugene. Welcome. Right. What do we have today? What? Okay. As a matter of interest, let me show you. Remember we were talking about this route, Paul?
Yes, sir.
Look here, there is another problem. Something that the route finder didn't pick up, but now we get this from SimBrief. It says that that thing doesn't exist. RLA 9A, I'm not sure what that is. I think it's like, that's one of the transitions.
It is, yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
So anyway, this is a mysteriously weird, difficult route to figure out. And there is no official Euro control route available from this airport to Amsterdam, and I had to build one last night. And it's so funny, the kind of stupid errors that we got back from the validation every time. Sorry, I didn't build it last night. It was yesterday morning. I keep on forgetting. But anyway, so I settled for what seemed to work, you know, and wrote it all. The rest I wrote off to, you know, A computer glitch. Interesting. Right, and our fuel 7.4.
Ground flight deck hose disconnected and starting refueling.
Dummy. Perfect, so that works out very well. Oh, got to switch this on for you guys so you can follow. Index, I don't think I changed it, that's still 20. And -9. Right. We might as well use our power.
Ready for pre-flight procedure. Trim up.
Right, the one thing that's going to happen now is we're going to lose our V-speeds once the refueling is complete, because we're going to have to remove the plant fuel. So I'm going to leave it on that page just as a reminder that we need to remove that. In actual fact, we haven't checked all of these things, eh? Oh, yeah, that was one of the departures. That's what that thing was complaining about. See.
Yeah, I think there's a dot between those two elements of the route that you copied over from Navigraph, and I don't think SimBrief understands it.
Yeah, could be. Right. That's the wrong plan. That's why it's looking so funny. Unload. Never check the actual graphics. There we go. Now we're on the right thing. So, one. Delta to alpha, and what is that transition? River 1D, it seems. Hello, Magnus. No, absolutely not. No, I muted the pings on that server very quickly. It's crazy. Yeah, that new Explain Discord is spam even.
That would be bedlam.
Oh,
It's bad enough on here, man.
yeah, and we try and control everything nicely, and we don't have half a quarter of the numbers. No, man, yo.
There are the obvious characters. Not so bad.
Yeah. Right, we're almost there. Ah, Paul. Each to his
Half
own,
of
you
them
know.
are bloody moderators, though.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, you can laugh. There you go, Magnus. With the logos back. I was flying 2020 this morning, so I took some of those things off. And you know, now that I mention it, I should leave the threshold on when I fly 2020 because we're using XNVARA in 2020. Damn it. Okay. Nico, remember. All right, so we're done with the planned fuel. Now we can get rid of it, and we're going to lose our V speeds. Now let's just go and set them quickly again. That's it.
Explain again, Nico, why putting the planned fuel in is a useful thing.
Yes, the planned fuel needs to be put in there so that you get your gross weight, your weights and balances correctly for all the rest of the calculations. If you do not put it in and you continue to the next page, everything is going to be calculated based upon whatever the value was at that moment. And we started, I think, at 3 tons or just under 3 tons. So imagine the weight and balance being completely out because now you're adding, you know, quite a number of tons worth of fuel, you know. So you put that in, do your calculations, come back and remove it. Because now the other thing is if you don't remove it, your calculations in flight is going to be wrong because it's always going to think the tanks are full. You see, so that's one way of sabotaging yourself, which you shouldn't do. So yeah.
So putting the planned fuel in means that you can set your stab trim and your V1 speed,
all those things,
in advance of being fueled up fully.
Yeah. And then you just go back and just confirm no free speeds at the end. But it should be exactly the same because you had the same values. Yeah. Right, we're almost out of here. Well, I'm going to set up the rest of the MCP. Then let's start our APU quickly. And fasten seatbelts, why not?
Captain Hatcher on the fasten seatbelt sign. We do ask that all passengers take your seat at this time and please fasten your seatbelt. Just as a reminder, we cannot leave the gate until carrying items are properly put away. All overhead bins are closed and all passengers are seated.
$353 and $150. Right. And they arm, so that's wonderful. Means we did our job proper. Right, let's go on here and start cleaning up.
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
Flight attendants prepare for departure. Cross-check and all call. Thank you.
Nico, I'll start my descent in 26 minutes. I'll let you know about 3 or 4 minutes before.
Thank you, sir. Before start procedure.
Before start procedure.
Just remember to do my streaming here on Discord so you guys on Discord don't have to wait 8 seconds or 10 or whatever it is today.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Before start procedure complete. Ready for before start checklist.
Tow connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake. Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Hello.
Hello. Start number 2 engine. Start number 2 engine. Come on, Linda.
Hello, everybody. Engine.
Hey, Tommy.
Hello.
Alex, Alef, and Hakan, welcome, guys.
Hello.
Wait, is that Amsterdam?
I'm going to Amsterdam, yes. Flying from Linate to Amsterdam.
That's about 25 kilometers from my house. Not even.
Excellent. We'll wave if we get close.
25 and 2.
Let me check on Flight Radar what the current runway is.
It was 18 right like 10 minutes ago.
In that case, you're not flying over my house.
Oh, damn. Yeah, we're coming in from the south. Clockwise
Starter
over.
cutout.
Yeah, that doesn't really matter. You can be routed anyway. They have 7 runways at the moment. Well, 6 at the moment because one's closed for maintenance.
Yeah.
The center one. And they route everything as they please. So if you come from the south, you can be routed over Rotterdam and then past the coastline up north. And then you have to make a 180 to get back into, for example, 18 right. So if you have to go via the right side, then you come over my house.
Okay.
Disconnecting tow, stand by.
Start number 1 engine.
Starting number 1 engine.
Live in a little city called Almere, which is about 15 minutes drive up north from northeast from Schiphol. So
okay,
I see a lot of planes going over.
Cool.
And about a month ago, I think we had like this big storm. And there was an A380 trying to land, but that didn't go as planned. So did it go around and it actually went over my house.
And signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
I'm just next to some of the airways here, so sometimes we see aircraft, sometimes we don't.
Starter cutout. Engine start procedure complete.
Right.
Yeah, we have a lot of planes going over. It's ridiculous. Amsterdam is really, really busy.
Yeah, can imagine.
I think Amsterdam's up there with London, Heathrow, Frankfurt, Paris. I think those are the most busiest airports in the western part of Europe.
Let's go. We're going to we're on Charlie, then take Bravo right over here, and then just go all the way down, Tango to the holding point.
In 2022, we had almost 276,000 takeoff and landings at Schiphol.
Wow.
Which is about 25.5 million people traveling.
Wow.
And then there's a lot of cargo as well.
Yeah. And guess who was one of them? One of the passengers.
You?
Oh, I wish. No, Uncle John went through there twice. When he came to visit me. He flies from Birmingham to Amsterdam, Joburg, and then the other way around again.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
You would think that from the UK you can go directly to South Africa.
Price. The KLM is better priced, and you pick up KLM directly there in Amsterdam. You can obviously fly direct, but price.
KLM is not a cheap operator to begin with. That's weird.
Yeah, Uncle John did his homework, eh?
And if you think that's a lot, in 2019 we almost had 500,000 of takeoff and landings in Schiphol.
Oh.
With a little bit of luck, I might be starting working at air traffic control in Amsterdam as well.
Okay.
If my employer does his job correctly, then I might go do IT work for them.
Okay. Now you missed taxi proper. If I look up, you need to take over. Nice, Eugene, nice. Before takeoff procedure.
Before takeoff procedure. Before takeoff procedure complete. Ready for before takeoff checklist.
Hello, Thunder.
Hello, Nico.
Stabilized.
Here's what I forgot. Got my flaps.
Takeoff thrust set.
I'm not stopping now. Be ready just before we lift the
80
nose.
knots. Throttle hold.
Hey, look at that timing.
Ready for before taxi
Oops.
procedure. Flaps 5 set. V1. Rotate.
Oh, that hasn't happened in quite a while.
Positive rate.
Yeah, up.
Sorry, Nico, I wasn't watching there. I usually give you a coughing noise, don't I?
Yes, yes.
In fact, at one time, you were expecting a coughing noise and didn't forget.
Yes, yes. But you see, now I've
Acceleration
become tame
altitude.
again, you see. Yeah. I'm not sure why, but every now and then it's like my CPU gets overloaded. Something's running weird. You see, I should have rebooted my machine before the stream. Another thing, you get so used to, oh, it's working so nicely, you just go and then you realize, stick to basics.
Flaps 1 set.
One frames.
Yeah, it jumps. It goes up high to like 38, and the next moment it's like it's dead, you know. And
Flaps up and set.
I'm not sure what process it is. I haven't bothered to really look now. You know, if I'm alone, I'll go and hunt it, but it's not important. Like something obviously is chowing the processor from time to time.
Approaching transition.
Interesting,
Transition
Christer.
altitude.
Well, I must be honest with you. Overall, it performs really great. My big thing here is I never rebooted my server. I was doing all the testing with Zibo earlier and all kinds of other things. I should have just rebooted. See, look, now we're back to the 30s. Well, Neil, so far so good, buddy.
Nico, what does that message from Eugene mean? Am I being stupid?
I'll show
In
you.
chat.
We probably reached the 2,000 members
Flight
on
level
our
100.
server. That's what he's
Landing
saying.
lights switches off.
Oh.
I hate Nico.
Huh?
I hate.
You hate me?
I have money. I can't buy any goods from the Europe.
Oh, so.
This is interesting, really. I think you live same situation as well, Nico.
Yeah, in our place, if it's not available, it's not available. Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Okay, Eugene, I can't show the guys the message of the 2,000 users because my privacy mode is on because I'm streaming. It doesn't allow me to go in there. But afterwards, guys, remind me on Discord, or you can go to the properties of the server yourself. Just look it up. We've got more than 2,000 users now on the Discord. That's basically what he said. Now I'm comfortably keeping the higher cities. So it could very well also be the scenery. You know why we use cluster scenery, you know? Could very well be something related to that flipping scenery. Yeah, nice Scotsman, yeah. Eugene has been keeping me up to date. Every now and then I get a little screenshot. He says, look, it's getting closer, getting closer. See, we have 2,021 members. I managed to get in on the back end, but I can't show you this. But it's 2,021 members now on Discord.
Goodness me.
Yeah, we try. It's nice to see 10 people on the VA currently flying for the VA. That's really nice to see. Ooh, check these autos. That's so nice. Thank you, Neil.
I was also flying.
Okay.
Can I send you my log?
Yes. You might definitely do that.
It was my first flight with Zink, you know.
Yeah.
Those throttles down, Nico. and so stable.
Okay.
I'm barely moving. It's not going up and down like a yo-yo.
Okay.
Seven minutes top of seat.
Okay.
Ready for descent procedure.
Yeah, this is lovely. Always love flying there. Project. The one that I use is this one, and this is from Antonio. It's a modification to the NOAA weather application for X-Plane 12. Let's see if I can get you a link to this thing. In FS 2020, I use X-Enviro. In this one, this is what I use in X-Plane. Plugins. Okay. That's the one. You're welcome. Blue City, goeiemiddag. About an hour and 20 minutes left in this flight, gents. If I look at that ETA over there, all depending on a couple of things like weather and stuff. I'm not online, so I don't have ATC to worry about, but you never know what happens. My oil temperature at this moment.
1000 to level off.
There you go. Cheers, Neil.
Approach top of descent.
I'm watching Uncle John.
Okay, sir. 8.5 miles. I think this is where the magic's going to happen.
Yeah, let's have a look. See.
But look at those throttles that come. How steady are they?
Yeah.
Never seen them like that before.
Yeah, it's just getting better and better every time. Come on.
Anytime down there, they go.
There they pull back. There they pull back.
Aren't they? Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah. There's the nose dip.
Got it again.
Very nice. Very nice.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Why was it showing decimal 88 for a minute there, John?
You want good?
Why was it showing decimal 8 or something on the top of the speed tape?
Ooh, I didn't even notice that.
No, I didn't.
I've got it on my stream as well, so we can look at both instances later if we want to.
But I'm very impressed with those throttles.
Yeah.
No, don't run it over now with speed.
John,
Yes, sir.
did you have your descent speed at the same as your cruise speed?
I left it as it was before.
So likely it was then. Nick, are you going to reduce your descent speed so it gives it something more obvious to do?
Nope. I actually want to check that it works the way it would work for anybody else. We can always do the other fancy stuff later, but I mean, it should now work, or we should test it the way that normal users would use it.
I'm not normal. Come on, man.
I know that, but we still love you. You know, I mean, it's one of those things. My cruise speed and my descent speed is it's both 0.735. It's the same.
Yeah.
I want to give that man a big hug.
Yeah. This case on it makes a hell of a big difference. Basic versus common VNAV descent. Oh my goodness. We use basic because it works. Okay. Well, the other one also works. Let me rephrase it. We use basic because it's common sense. Okay, it's just that's how we all grew up knowing what VNAV is. This common thing to me is, I don't know, man. You've got to have a mind shift and a greater understanding of how it works to fly that thing. And I don't like it. Honestly, I don't like it. Eugene, I'm not sure if Zibo's finished the code on the engines yet, but it is his own code. And I would think that as any other code in the Zibo, it is supposed to be, and it will be 100% real, you know, so. Yeah, Christopher, but we all know you're special too, man. You know, I mean, you like common, I hate it. I don't like common, you know, at all. I just don't. SK-san, I don't think the start phase is going to be different. It's the actual execution of it because of the way it calculates differently and it does different things. Yeah. I like the nicely managed VNAV path and everything with VNAV basic. This thing where it dips the nose and it chases that little magenta pip. I don't know, man. It's not really for me. Tommy?
Yes.
Afterwards, I'll go read your file and then we can quickly chat about it.
Okay, no hurry.
Ooh. This looks good. Let me just see. Yeah, SK-san. Because I don't use it, I don't really know it that well. I just, you know, in the few times I've used it, I hated it. So I can't tell you the specifics, but in logically thinking, I don't think the way it starts the descent is going to differ much. It's the way it executes it further. So I don't know. Maybe you can do that test and come back, let me know. I think just, yeah, I think I'll agree with that, Eugene, because it's more like level change, all right? So you are more responsible for the speed and everything opposed to the way that the basic one works. Yes. Okay, so what I was reading is the threshold article on the IXIG, the old 737, I think it's 300, that one, and the Mitsubishi MU2 that they said they are going to bring to explain 12. That'll be cool.
A 300, you say?
Yeah, the old IXIG. Remember in Explain 11 and 10 we had it. Now they say they're going to bring it to 12. So it's a 737-300. Yeah, that's what I know.
So dials and whatnot.
Yep.
I like the sound of that.
It's a nice little aircraft. It will be nice to have it available for the VA as well. And it's already provisioned for. Old school.
What does old school mean?
Dials. Dials and dials and dials. Old gauges.
Let's do some manual piloting with autopilot.
Yes, Anthony. Yes, Eugene. Well, you see, that's the difference in culture now again between what my understanding of the word common is and what someone else's understanding is. I understand under certain circumstances it means it's a common thing between parties. But the first thing that comes to my mind when I hear the word common is I think of the guys on the other side of the railway, you know, the not so fortunate ones, you know, that doesn't have shoes and, you know, their hair is standing in all kinds of directions and they bath once a week, you know, those commoners. That's common to me.
Are you describing me or something? Have you been speaking to John?
No.
A local time for your top descent, Nicker.
Uncle John, your mic is crap. Say again.
Give me a local time for your top of descent.
Top of descent will be at 16:30 Zulu.
Thank you.
I've put my foot in it a couple of times, Paul, but I think I'm safe. I don't know you that well to know that it's you.
Any better?
Uncle John, not really. Sounds the same.
Okay, so I'm experimenting.
Yeah, that's fine. Ja. Wat fout? They're calling me downstairs. Let me just go check quickly. I'll be back now.